Welcome to episode 75 of the Loane Hockey Podcast, where today we're going to be talking about Miro Heiskanen from the Dallas Stars. And ever since he was being drafted back in 2017 by Dallas, third overall, he's blossomed as a top-pairing defenseman and a number one defenseman in the NHL. And the consistency in his game is derived from his two-way play, his transition play, and his ozone habits, and how well he's continued to get better as an offensive defenseman as well. And with Heiskanen, he's very controlled. He's very smooth. He's very fluid in all facets of his game. And at the same time, he has a balanced approach to his game. He can play offensively, but he can also play defensively. So he can defend line rush. He can defend transition sequences. He's very smooth and fluid when it comes to being able to use his feet to glide and being able to shut plays down using positioning more than anything else. He's not necessarily a super physical defenseman per se, but more reliant on his hockey sense for defensive angles and being able to use his stick work and use his feet to close plays and kill plays. And with Heiskanen, I've noticed a lot more offensive activation, a lot more natural power out of his feet, moving laterally inside the offensive zone. And the dynamic of his offensive zone play has really changed over the years, and he's continued to be more of an activation and downhill threat inside the offensive zone. So he's activated and he's added some nuances to his approach when it comes to ozone play, and being able to adjust has really helped him transform that in that sense. And at the same time, you look at his actual ozone habits and how well he's moving off the puck, how well he's supporting the puck, how well he's supporting the play, how active he is walking the line offensively. And you're getting a very complete defenseman, a very well-rounded defenseman who really understands timing and rhythm when it comes to hockey sense. And that's a big thing in his game. And it provides a sense of structure for his ozone play because his ability to play with rhythm and pace and tempo and understanding of fluidity in his game allows him to play with control and at ease. He's never panicking. He's never too wiry with the puck. He doesn't ever, and I rarely ever see him panic when he has a puck on his stick and when he's making a play. And he's always loose. He's always loose in his shoulders, always loose in his upper body, which is always a good sign from a player when they're loose, especially in the shoulder area, because sometimes players tend to tense up when they get a little bit jittery or nervous or something like that when they have the puck on their stick. But with Hastings, he's very rangy, he's controlled, and he plays loose. So by playing loose, he plays in control and he plays with a lot more clarity compared to other defensemen in the league. And obviously, an elite player in all facets of the game. Like I mentioned, even strength offensively, he's productive. At the power play, he's productive. On the penalty kill, he's productive. And many other situations, he's very productive as well. So you're getting a variety of strengths and nuances in the sense of how he can actually make plays, generate plays, and be efficient in terms of how he's able to be involved in all facets of the game. And defensively, like I mentioned, he's more of a guy that's more reliant on angles than anything else, and he likes to rely more on posture and elements in that sense to try to kill plays and shut plays down. And where I most notice Heiskanen, and it's one of the more fun areas to watch within his game, is his transition play and his transition habits and the activation that you see in his transition play through the neutral zone and then on zone entries and inside the offensive zone. So being able to link together his neutral zone play and his patterning to his ozone play, and being able to be controlled and have possession and be able to control possession in that manner is very important when it comes to his game. And then with him, his transition efficiency is largely dependent on his ability to transition the puck and his ability to carry the puck with his head up. And he's always aware. He's always aware of options around him. He's always aware of teammates around him. He's always aware of positioning. He's always aware of where he needs to attack. He's always aware of open seams. He's aware of a lot of different elements inside the neutral zone to be able to transition pucks with a little bit more efficiency and being able to transition pucks with purpose. And so that allows him to have a little bit more dynamic. And obviously, him being a powerful, rangy skater, that helps him get off the wall when it comes to his footwork and being able to get inside on sequences a little bit easier than other players as well. And that's another big thing when it comes to him, is being able to get off the wall and being able to move with power. And he can move off the wall, moving laterally with power. And that's a really big skill when it comes to his game and how he's able to attack it in a variety of scenarios. Obviously, it really helps him most in terms of transition play, because by being able to get off the wall, especially in the neutral zone, allows him to attack entries with a little bit more efficiency, and he can change the angle on entries a little bit more. and also attack entries on a diagonal. On breakouts, it helps sometimes, but you get the odd occasion where forecheckers they have a 2-1-2 or a 1-2-2 aggressive, and getting off the wall on breakouts is a little bit more difficult. Sometimes defensemen just like to punt the puck out rather than trying to carry it. So inside neutral zone play, you have a little bit more leeway when it comes to what you want to do with the puck. So with Heiskanen, for example, he can try and deke a guy out one on one, or he can try and manipulate through the feet, or he can try to do a little stick deke. Something along those lines, he has a little bit more risk that he can toy with when he's in the neutral zone because compared to the defensive zone, if you give up the puck, then you have the likelihood of that puck either going in the net or creating a scoring chance and a quality scoring chance out of that. So in the neutral zone, there's less risk involved per se, and Heiskanen has the ability to get off the wall with a little bit more efficiency there. And another big thing when it comes to his game, and a lot of modern defensemen have this ability, but I really like and I really enjoy watching it within Haskanen's game specifically, is his breakout play and his ability to exit with controlled possession and being able to manage D zone retrievals. And these are multiple components of a defenseman that are really important, especially the D zone retrievals and being able to break out pucks with efficiency is a really important skill for any defenseman to have at any level. And with Heiskanen, he does it where he can use his feet. So he can beat forecheckers seamlessly with his feet. That's his advantage and his biggest weapon is his feet to be able to get moving and get to top speed and separate from defensemen, separate from forecheckers. So that helps him in D zone situations and D zone retrievals because of the timing, the fluidity, and the rhythm of his feet and how those are all linked together and how they allow him to control pace, control possession, be able to control sequences going up ice. And there's a lot of different elements that go into his exit play, and he can transition pucks with pace coming on the exits as well. That's a big thing when it comes to him. It's not only in the neutral zone, but also on the exits. And he plays very controlled and very rangy in terms of his exit play and how efficient he can be using his exit play to be able to have efficiency when he's moving up ice and stuff like that. So with Heiskanen, obviously a very dynamic defenseman, a complete defenseman, a player who can play every single situation for the Stars. He's a definite number one, and he's going to be a number one defenseman for a very long time. And it'll be very interesting to see how his game continues to evolve heading into the future because there's a lot of elements in his game right now that could surely evolve even more. I'd be curious to see if he could surpass 90 plus points as a defenseman because you watch his game, you don't necessarily see uber offensive mindedness like at Quinn Hughes or someone along those lines with Roman Yossi, where they're always active in the ozone all the time. You don't necessarily see that same level. Heiskanen has it, no doubt about it. But you don't necessarily see it at the same level. So that would be my biggest point when it comes to him is when will he be able to potentially get to 90 plus points? That would be a very interesting thing because at some point, either sooner or later, he should definitely get there because he has that ability. He has the overall foundation. He's already playing top pair minutes and he's already a number one defenseman. And he's still young and he's complete. He could do it all. He can skate really well on top of that. There's a lot of elements in his game that scream that he could be a defenseman who could eclipse 90 or 100 points at some point in the league. And some of that has to do with adding more tempo to his offensive game a little bit more and adding a little bit more deceptive layers, adding a little more manipulation in terms of how he's controlling the ozone. But with him, there's a really good foundation set in stone with him and how he already controls play, how he already controls possession. So there's going to be a lot more elements for his game heading into the future that will allow him to continue to get better, continue to improve, and find ways to succeed over time as well.